Night on Saturday Night Live, Colin Jost came back live and clearly made a joke at Blake Live.
Ryan Reynolds must be feeling the pressure right now after what he likely thought would be a memorable moment at Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary. Things took an unexpected turn when Colin Jost, the man married to Ryan's ex-wife Scarlett Johansson, threw a brutal jab at Blake Lively during SNL. The situation just keeps getting more chaotic. Let's break it down. A few weeks ago, Ryan and Blake attended the 50th anniversary celebration of SNL. During a Q&A with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, Ryan attempted to make a joke, but it completely fell flat.
Breaking news, Justin Baldoni just got a big win, meaning Blake Lively got a big loss.
Repeatedly scolded Zelensky, telling him, "You have real problems." Yeah, man, he's in a war. No one's asking to borrow missiles so they can take the party to the next level. Zelensky was asked to leave the White House. Then he appeared on Fox News and said he thinks he can still salvage his relationship with President Trump, which is like Justin Baldoni saying, "I'd love to work with Blake again."
And when I say it flopped, I mean it hit the floor so hard it left a dent. It was one of those moments where you cringe so intensely that you have to look away. But hey, Ryan probably thought he was just being his usual funny self. Unfortunately, the audience didn't get the memo.
Counsel for Miss Lively has made it clear that Miss Lively does not want Mr. Friedman to be the attorney who takes her deposition. Essentially, the judge agreed and told her lawyer that she does not get to choose who deposes her.
Fast forward to SNL's return, and Colin Jost came back swinging during a segment about Trump and Zelensky. He made a joke that would have definitely triggered Blake Lively.
You are going to depose Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Taylor Swift, who else?
You know, anyone that reasonably has information that can be, you know, that can provide evidence in this case is going to be deposed. I mean,
that's Taylor
sure.
Swift. She was there for that meeting.
She was there for that meeting.
Okay, well, I'm a lawyer. I know what that means.
The audience laughed, but even Colin Jost knew this was bound to stir up some drama.
Quietly working with Nick Shapiro, the CIA's former deputy chief of staff and senior advisor to former director John Brennan. So this guy, high up, just about as high up as you could possibly get if he is the deputy chief of staff.
Talking about a joke aimed directly at Blake Lively, coming from the husband of her husband's ex-wife. Let that sink in. Scarlett Johansson divorced Ryan Reynolds, then married Colin Jost, and now Colin is out here cracking jokes about Blake. Damn.
Actor-director Justin Baldoni is now suing his former co-star Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds, seeking more than $400 million in damages, accusing them of defamation and extortion.
Blake probably wasn't thrilled about her name getting dragged into SNL. Imagine sitting at home, sipping your overpriced green juice, thinking you're having a drama-free weekend, and then, bam, you're suddenly part of the monologue. Hollywood shade is so calculated. And let's not forget, Colin Jost isn't just some random SNL cast member throwing out jokes for fun. He's been on the show for over a decade and is married to one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, Scarlett Johansson. They've been together since 2017, got engaged in 2019, and tied the knot in 2020. So, Colin isn't just some guy cracking jokes, he's directly connected to this drama.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion.
You are about to file a lawsuit against Blake's publicist, Leslie Sloan. Are we correct? And if so, is it a similar allegation to the New York Times case?
She'll definitely be sued. There's no question about that. I mean, it's just a matter of when and for what. And whether she's included with others or not. And frankly, you know, I'm not prepared to give up our legal strategy.
Now, if this was just a random joke, why bring up Blake Lively? Why not poke fun at Ryan instead? This was personal. Whether Colin meant it as a subtle dig or just couldn't resist the chance to stir the pot, it wasn't just a casual Hollywood moment. It was Scarlett's husband calling out Ryan's wife. That shade was served on a silver platter, and Colin knew exactly what he was doing. Let's rewind a bit.
Actress Blake Lively is accusing co-star and director Justin Baldoni of sexual harassment and a smear campaign stemming from their work together on the summer movie It Ends With Us.
Before Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively became Hollywood's favorite couple, Ryan was married to Scarlett Johansson from 2008 to 2011. At the time, Scarlett was at the height of her career, while Ryan was still trying to break out of the romantic comedy mold. Their marriage was low-key.
Allegedly, Target is claiming customers are returning Blake Lively's hair care line, Blake Brown, in droves. So they are pulling all of her merchandise off their shelves because they are losing profit.
But their divorce, definitely not. There were whispers that Scarlett wasn't as invested in the marriage as Ryan was. Some even claimed that, while he was ready to build a forever home, she was too busy conquering Hollywood, one Marvel blockbuster at a time. Rumors swirled that their careers pulled them in opposite directions, with Scarlett thriving in the limelight while Ryan struggled with jealousy.
Like, hi, have you met Ryan Friedman yet? I know I haven't, but I wouldn't try this. Judge Lehman responds to this order and he just slaps her down.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion.
In a world where sometimes people judge you before they give you a chance.
While Ryan was married to Scarlett Johansson, he met Blake Lively on the set of Green Lantern, and suddenly their relationship timeline started to look a little blurry. Then, boom, just a few months later, Ryan and Blake were officially dating, and by 2012, they were married. That's fast, suspiciously fast.
Justin Baldoni suing the New York Times for an article reporting Blake Lively's claims that he directed a smear campaign against her during the press campaign. Baldoni's lawsuit calling the article rife with inaccuracies, misrepresentations, and omissions, relying on Lively's, quote, self-serving narrative.
I mean, let's be real. Most people take longer to pick a Netflix movie than Ryan took to move on from a whole marriage. Either he had a backup plan, or he just has world record rebound skills. Look, maybe they really did just magically fall in love right after his divorce. No overlap, no shadiness, just pure wholesome fate. But Hollywood rarely works like that. And when a timeline moves this fast, people talk.
What Lively parties conspicuously failed to mention is that the now pending litigation in Texas was precipitated by Miss Lively, who initiated legal action against Mr. Wallace in Texas state court on January 21st, approximately 2 weeks before he filed his federal lawsuit.
It's no wonder people started speculating. Was Blake the reason Ryan and Scarlett didn't work out? Did she enter the picture before the marriage was truly over? Colin Jost obviously knows this, and that's what makes this joke even spicier. Imagine your ex-wife's new husband calling out your current wife on live TV. That's not just a joke, that's a statement. And you know Hollywood loves to be passive-aggressive.
Anyways, Judge Lehman responds to this order and he slaps down, he just slaps her down. I don't know what else to say. Probably because he probably doesn't take kind to just being manipulated. You know, you should have been like, I want an extension because I don't have any proof.
Here's what's really wild. SNL could have easily made Justin Baldoni the joke, but nope, they went straight for Blake Lively. That tells you everything. Hollywood is subtly turning on Blake, and SNL just made it obvious. Think about it. Ryan Reynolds was given a prime spot in their big anniversary celebration, cracking jokes and getting all the love. But when it came to Blake, they made her the punchline of a joke on their very first live show after the event. That's not just comedy, that's a message. And trust me, this isn't the first sign that Hollywood might not be as enamored with Blake as they used to be. Remember Anna Kendrick? She and Blake worked together on A Simple Favor and were supposed to be besties on screen. But when Anna was asked about working with Blake again for the sequel, she gave the shadiest non-answer. Instead of gushing about the reunion like Blake did, Anna just said, "Oh, you know," and walked away. That's it. No excitement, no love, just a whole lot of awkwardness.
One of those intended parties, Jed Wallace, along with his company Street Relations, filed an anticipatory and meritless 10-page complaint in the federal district court in Texas regarding issues that substantially overlap with the issues in this litigation.
That doesn't sound like someone who's thrilled about working with their so-called friend again. Maybe Anna's seen a different side of Blake and isn't about to fake it for the cameras. Hollywood loves to pick sides, and this little moment on SNL might be a sign that the industry is shifting, and Blake isn't exactly in their good graces right now.
I want to talk about this so we all understand sort of the rights, because clearly Justin's team is going to be out there trying to subpoena Taylor Swift, right? And everybody else that's involved in this case.
Some people are also speculating that Scarlett Johansson might have told Colin to make a joke about it, but I don't think that's what happened. Colin is a comedian, and a pretty good one, if you ask me, so he's just doing what he's good at. Now, the big question, will Blake and Ryan respond? Probably not. But Hollywood? Oh, It never forgets. If there's real tension brewing, trust me, this won't be the last shady moment. Was this just a joke, or is there something deeper going on? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest tea. See you in the next one.